Tom Petty was a true icon in the world of music, known for his incredible songwriting skills and his unique voice that captured the hearts of fans all over the world. But there's a lot more to this rock legend than most people know. Today, we're going to reveal some unknown secrets about Tom Petty. Tom Petty was born in Gainesville, Florida, on October 20, 1950, as Thomas Earl Petty. He grew up in a modest home with his parents and younger brother. When he was 10 years old, Petty attended a performance by Elvis Presley in his hometown, which had a profound impact on him and inspired him to pursue a career in music. Petty formed his first band, Mudcrutch, in high school. The band included future Heartbreakers Mike Campbell and Ben Montench, as well as guitarist Tom Leadon and drummer Randall Marsh. Mudcrutch signed a record deal with Shelter Records in 1974, but their debut album was never released. The band disbanded soon after, and Petty went on to form Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers formed in 1976 and quickly gained popularity with their self-titled debut album, which included hits like Breakdown and American Girl. In 1979, Petty was sued by his record label, MCA, for refusing to adhere to their contract demands. He fought the lawsuit and eventually won, which gave him more creative control over his music. Free Fallin', one of Petty's biggest hits, was co-written by Jeff Lynne of the Electric Light Orchestra. The two became good friends and collaborated on several projects over the years. Petty formed the supergroup The Traveling Wilburys with George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Jeff Lynne, and Roy Orbison in 1988. The group released 2 albums before Orbison's death in 1988. Petty had a love for acting and appeared in several films and TV shows, including The Postman and King of the Hill. He also provided the voice for Lucky on the animated series King of the Hill. Petty was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2002, along with his bandmates from the Heartbreakers. Petty was a big supporter of animal rights and donated money to several animal welfare organizations over the years. Petty was a fan of NASCAR and sponsored a car in the 2001 Daytona 500. The car, driven by Kyle Petty, no relation, featured a paint scheme inspired by Petty's album, The Last DJ. Petty had a long-standing feud with Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose, which stemmed from an incident at the MTV Video Music Awards in 1989. Petty criticized Rose's behavior, and the two exchanged heated words in the press. Petty was a private pilot and owned several planes. He often flew himself to concerts and other engagements. Petty started wearing a top hat as a stage prop after a fire destroyed his home in 1987 and he lost all of his belongings. The top hat became one of his signature looks. Petty had a passion for gardening and spent much of his free time tending to his garden at his home in Malibu, California. He also grew his own vegetables and fruit. Petty was an avid collector of guitars and owned a number of vintage and rare instruments, including a 1965 Gibson SG, a 1966 Rickenbacker 360/12, and a 1958 Gretsch 6120. Petty was married twice. His first marriage was to Jane Bainio, with whom he had 2 daughters, Adria and Annika. His second marriage was to Dana York, whom he married in 2001. Petty struggled with heroin addiction in the 1990s but was able to overcome it with the help of his family and friends. Tom Petty passed away on October 2, 2017, after suffering a cardiac arrest at his home in Malibu. His death was a shock to his fans in the music world, and he is remembered as one of the greatest songwriters and performers of his generation. Tom Petty was a true musical icon, and these unknown secrets give us a glimpse into the man behind the music. His legacy will continue to live on through his timeless music and the memories he created for millions of fans around the world.